Hi friends, I hope you're having a great day out there in your gardens. Well, we had 2 days where it was 78 degrees, sunny, and beautiful. I spent every waking moment outside from sunrise to sunset and even beyond. I was out here in the library till at least 10:30 at night, just drinking in the warmth of the air and the sun. But today and yesterday, it was in the low 30s, and yesterday it snowed again. Oh my gosh, I am so over this winter. Honestly, I can't take it anymore. I need to see some color and I need to go see some beautiful plants, and I want to take you with me. But I wanted to update you on a few things before we head over to Fry's greenhouse, which is kind of like Amish Country's version of terrain. But I specifically want to go to this greenhouse over other ones that I've showed you in the past because they have a lot of beautiful displays. The way they display their plants is just phenomenal. It's kind of an antique mall meets a garden center, two of my favorite things. So here's the reason why we're going over there. I opened the flower stand a week ago. This year I'm selling bedding annuals up until the point where I can start selling cut flowers around Easter, but I think I'm actually going to just continue to sell annuals all growing season. This way I can keep the stand open consistently this year, but still limit the amount of cut flowers that I put out there. As I've told you guys, this year I'm going to do a big Easter display. We're going to sell all the bulbs in the raised bed, but then I need all of my cut flowers to remain in the garden for the Better Homes and Gardens shoot. Also, I just got word yesterday that it's still officially happening. It's on. We're scheduling it. And please say a prayer for me. I put myself out there and I asked the editor if I could be the one to shoot it, because that will take all the stress out of the whole situation and just make it a fun experience for me. And also, I'd like a new challenge. I've been doing floral photography for a while now, but really only photographing flowers close up, to be honest with you. So I sent over my portfolio the other day and we will see what happens. Gracie, you want to say hi to everybody? What did Daddy get you? He got you a bone that looks like a tire. What is that? Say, I don't know, Mom, but it's delicious. Everything in the raised beds is for cutting and selling. I did a lot of different mixes. This bed is just daffodils. The bed in front of that one has lilies and daffodils. That one in the front has daffodils and lilies, tulips and lilies, just tulips and just tulips. So we did move the flower stand back a little bit. So now when you park your car along the side there, you can immediately get out safely and head right to the flower stand. And where the flower stand used to be, I just have a nice chalkboard sign telling you which way to go to get some flowers. We've got lettuce for $2 a pack, pansies for $3 a pack, violas for $3 a pack, more pansies in here. I started out with 4 flats on the table and 2 more down there, but those already sold, so that's great. Complimentary gardening magazines down below, just like always. And then I did move my signs onto the walls of the flower stand this year. But this is the table that I want to replace with something else, but this is the ideal size that we're looking for. All right, friends, here we are at Fry's greenhouse. Look at this gorgeous metal planter, hellebores, heucheras, creeping jenny, and ferns paired together beautifully. This kind of echoes that first planting, but is slightly different. We've got pansies, creeping jenny, violas, hellebores, and ferns. Oh, and a little bit of curly willow, I think. Here's a great idea. Moss-covered Easter baskets with ranunculus, pansies, and ivy. The hellebores are reasonably priced at about, I would say $20 to $36 is what I'm seeing. This amazing planter is sitting on an antique sewing machine table. That might be the exact table I need to replace the folding table over at the flower stand. This container almost looks like a woodland spring garden. Oh look, floating florals. That's something we could do over at the flower stand to help attract more attention over to its new location. And those are just sitting on old barrels. Even though every piece of furniture and display item is different in this garden center, they all work together seamlessly. They all have that beautiful patina. And I love how they go the extra mile at this nursery. Of course, we could just use the black watertight cell trays, but they invested in these metal watertight trays to hold the plants. And doesn't that just elevate the entire display and make it look more expensive? Maybe that's something I could do over at the flower stand too. Here's a house plant that I always seem to kill. Tiny little cyclamen sitting on a bed of pebbles. Are these containers made from old pallets? I think they are. Okay, that is something we have to try. I like how they're creating different levels with these shallow wooden boxes. I also love how they're just keeping it nice and simple. You know, there's something really peaceful, elegant, but once again, expensive looking about their displays. Let's see the prices. Ranunculus for about $5. Here's some more beautiful baskets. Oh, I love the little sweet daisies in that one. Adding a little bit of driftwood there is a great idea. Okay, let me get a sense of the price here. Oh, $5.50 for those ranunculus. One other thing we could do is add some metal shelving to the stand, because I do have that baker's shelf in the basement that I'm currently just storing buckets on, and I could bring that up, put it next to the flower stand, and then put 4 more flats of annuals on there. I love all of these ferns. So the table that we're looking at on the left is made from an old bowling lane. The lady working here told me that when I came in. She was so nice. Oh, what's your favorite color primrose? I love a light butter colored primrose. That just fills my heart with joy. All right, let me step back to try to give you a full scope of this room. I love those copper bird baths. Oh, and look at these cute ceramic birds. Here's another great display table. This one's just made out of old tree trunks. Now we're at Black Creek Nursery. This is about a 15-minute drive from Fry's greenhouse. They changed up their welcome display in the main greenhouse. I think they used to have a grand piano filled with plants in this area, where they now have a shed. So let's see what some of their spring planters look like in contrast to what they're offering over at Fry's greenhouse. Oh, I do like the use of ornamental kale in the planters. They're using a lot more spring bulbs. We've got the hyacinths, the daffodils. Oh, I even see some tulips and some paper whites being used in these containers. This is a great Easter display right here. I'm sure these are going to be bought up in no time at all. The prices here are very fair. I think if you're looking for a specific perennial, this is probably the place that you're going to find it. They didn't have astranthia. I did ask. So I'm still on the hunt for some astranthia. $3.69 for primrose here. And about $32 for hellebores. Now we're over at Farmstead Flowers, which is about 10, maybe 15 minutes from Black Creek. So you could definitely hit up all of these nurseries in one afternoon. I really like Farmstead Flowers because they have a cafe nestled into the corner of their main greenhouse. They also have butterflies. I don't think the butterflies came in yet, but eventually they have a butterfly enclosure that you can come visit and sit with the butterflies while you drink your coffee. So check out those orchids hanging from this pergola. Are those Vanda orchids? Any orchid experts out there, can you help me out? nice cozy spot to enjoy a latte and maybe a donut or two or three or four. Let me round the corner and I'll show you another cozy nook where you can sit and enjoy a croissant or two or four. So there's the cafe right there. And then I'll turn us slowly over to the left and show you this other seating area. Beautiful. So the table I really liked over at Fry's was that beautiful antique sewing table. I think that would be the right color and the right look for the flower stand area. It would blend into the landscape. So I'm gonna go over to our antique store and see if they have anything like that at the moment. And then I'll show you what I wind up with in the weeks ahead. I wanna wish you all a wonderful day out there in your gardens, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.